Hey everybody, it is Monday, December 4th. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this is a look ahead to the struggling Philadelphia Flyers game against the Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames sit at 14, 11, and 1, as the Flyers sit at 8, 11, and 7. The Flames have been hotter of late, and they also have Johnny Hockey, who arguably is having his best season so far in his career, which have all been good seasons. He has 36 points, 12 goals, and 24 assists, and he's a menace on the ice, and he's going to be very tough for the struggling Flyers defense to contend with. Because we let Spooner last game on a breakaway, who scored his first goal since March of this year, which would have been last season. So we need to really play tight defense against this Calgary Flames team. Otherwise, it's a wrap really early in the game if we don't play tight defense. The Flyers need to go back somehow and get their minds out of the gutter and start thinking of how we played. Look at tape compared to how we played at the start of the season when we were actually one of the better teams, winning those one-on-one puck battles, not making mistakes, icing the puck down the ice, which then allows the team to score right after the icing because we have tired players on the ice, not taking stupid penalties, and not being mature and making bad decisions. That's been the Flyers of late, but that hasn't been the Flyers all season. At the beginning of the season, they were a very solid hockey team. Like I said, that were winning those battles. The only thing we didn't have at the beginning of the season was goaltending. And now that Elliott is playing better, we don't have defense. And the offense has been doing okay. It's been inconsistent. Giroux's been doing good. Voracek's been doing good. And Couture's been doing good. We have a great first line. And then Ghost and Provorov as defensemen have been helping to facilitate the offense very well. And then in terms of our defensive defensemen, honestly, the best defensive defenseman this year is probably a rookie. Oh no, it's a second year. The best defensive defenseman will be a second year player in Provorov because he plays great on both sides. But our second best defensive defenseman is a rookie in Robert Hagg, which is great because that's great to building towards the future. But when you have McDonald, who isn't having a bad season, but he needs to step up more, Gudas needs to stay on the ice and not make bad decisions and get suspended. So we have a lot of things that are going for us for the future, which keeps some patience in how bad we're looking right now. But Ron Hextall says he still thinks this team's a playoff team. He still thinks we can rebound. Well, we need to do it quick because this conference ain't easy. And we need to start rebounding quickly. Otherwise, that wild card hopes are just going to dwindle down even more and not get us anywhere. So we really, really need to step up soon and play like a team, which right now only part of our players are playing well together. Some of these lines look like they have no chemistry, and they've been together most of the season, those players, and all of a sudden, because of the mindset we're in, which seems to be like a here we go again mindset, we're up, and then we give up goals, and they're coming back, it's like here we go again, then we play too conservative and don't play aggressive. The Flyers must be aggressive from the forefront against this Calgary Flames team because this Calgary Flames team has a lot of speed guys too, and that doesn't spell well for the Flyers. If they're not aggressive from the get-go, this game is going to get ugly fast, but there's a way the Flyers can actually come out and be able to win this hockey game. That's if they finally play a very tightly contested game, win the one-on-one puck battles, and play well throughout their team and not just the first line that's been continuing to produce pretty solidly in the offensive zone. We need the whole team to come together and play well in order to have a chance in this game. And the reason I think we have a chance to win if that happens is because we've been so ugly of late in the 10 losses that would shock a team when we come out and play like we did before those 10 losses, which is what we need. We need to get back to playing to the basics in a sense and just dumping the puck in, chasing it, and having it be a team effort and not just the guy that dumps the puck in, chasing the puck, and maybe one other person and everybody else goes off the ice. You need to We also have been having very sloppy line changes of late, which have led to some breakaways. That needs to be fixed. And that in part is on coaching, but overall this team needs to be fixed in coaching aspects. We need to hold more players accountable and maybe get more motivation in. And it seems like the team meeting, the players meeting didn't do a whole lot for last game, so hopefully maybe the players got together again, or maybe in the locker room they are starting to try to motivate each other, because this team needs motivation throughout their lines. Because right now, the only people that are producing besides the defensemen in Provorov and Ghost are really our first line. Now, on a good note, the countdown to 200 for Claude Giroux being 200 goals. He is only 9 away. The countdown for 100 for Couturier getting to 100 goals. He is 16 goals away because he sits at 84 right now. So good for those guys, having great offensive seasons. Couturier finally doing great on the offensive end, because we all knew he's a great forward on the defensive end and can create plays when he can. And on top of that, he's finally on a line that has good people and not stooges that are only good at defense. Last year, I think he was on a line with Matt Reed, and I can't even remember the other person. So they finally put him on a line that helps his offense, and he's having a good season. Okay, well, tonight, the starting goalies expected are Brian Elliott, this is a fun one to say, 6, 6, and 6. And no, I do not worship Satan. That's just his record. 2.98 goals against average, 904 save percentage. He needs to step up and have a good game again for us to be able to win this hockey game. Mike Smith, who's one of the better coaches this season, one of the better goalies this season so far of late, is 12, 8, and 1 with a 2.69 goals against average and a 920 save percentage, and he also has 2 shutouts, which is something Elliott doesn't have, which is not obviously entirely his fault. Again, the Flyers are 8, 11, and 7. The Flames are 14, 11, and 1, which is 5th in the Pacific. The Flyers are at the bottom at 8th in the Met, but the standings are still close. So if we can rebound quickly, we can climb right back up those standings, because there's a lot of inconsistent hockey teams this year, but we are just so far right now the worst of inconsistency. Maybe we can turn this around from last year. Here's a way to look at it. We went on a 10-game winning streak last year and were the first team, bringing up sour grapes, to not make the playoffs after doing that. Well, we went on a 10-game losing streak this year. Maybe we can be a team that rebounds from that and makes the playoffs. Just to put a positive spin on things. Now, besides Gaudreau, who I already did his points, with 36 points, 12 goals, and 24 assists, got to watch Monahan, who has 26 points, 14 goals, and 12 assists. Backlund, who has 18 points, 7 goals, and 11 assists. Matthew Tkachuk, who has 17 points, 4 goals, and 13 assists. And then their leading defense points getter is TJ Brody, with 16 points, 2 goals, and 14 assists. And on offense, you also got to watch Dougie Hamilton, especially if you give them power plays. The Flyers, again, Voracek, 30 points, 7 goals, 23 assists, is the leading points getter. Hasn't changed. Giroux, 2 points behind him, has 28 points, 11 goals, 17 assists. Again, 9 goals to 200. He will get there, I believe, at some point this year with his good offensive campaign he's having. Couturier, 26 points, 14 goals, 12 assists. Again, 16 goals to 100. That'll be a little bit tougher for Couturier, but I think he will honestly get there this year too, because he's having such a great offensive season, and now we just need other guys to carry along the Voraceks, Giroux, and Couturiers and get going. Patrick's been having a good season since coming back. He's been creating plays, but guys haven't been able to bury it on their lines. I would like to see Taylor Lear in this game, because Dale Weiss is playing terrible, and Lear's not playing great on offense either. But if you look back at stats, Lear has hit so many posts this year, and Dale Weiss has been almost non-existent in the offensive zone. I also would like to see someone like Konechny, who's looked better of late, or Jordan Wheel to try to get him going, to put him on the power play, because Jori Lehtera is an above average skater in a sense, but he's mostly a defensive skater, and he should not be on our power play. That is a bad coaching move. Simmons has 14 points with 7 goals and 7 assists. So tonight, the Flyers need to come together and play as an overall team and not just have the top line and 3 defensemen try to be carrying the entire team. And then Brian Elliott, who should have a good game again because he's been playing pretty well of late, minus like a game or two. And he really needs to have a good game to give us a chance. This has been a look ahead to the Flyers that need to come together tonight and really pull off this win to get off this losing streak. Because the more and more we keep losing, no matter what Hextall says to defend the coach and to defend the team, it is going to get concerning once you get to 12, 13, 14, especially 15 losses in a row. Right now we're at 10. If we can stop it at 10, that's a good sign. And if we can beat Calgary tonight, who's a good team, that's also a good sign. So we need to come into Calgary, and take this game from them. Let's go Flyers. Let's get that big win tonight. So long, everybody. Have a good one. Flyers are on at 9 o'clock tonight because they're in Calgary. Peace.